Jimmy John's Key Franchise Information. Series Franchise Business, The Guide to Franchises. Goals, Mission, and Vision of Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is an American fast food restaurant chain that started in 1983 in Charleston, Illinois. It was founded by 19-year-old Jimmy John Leotard, who was given a choice by his father: join the army or start a business. He chose sandwiches. Today, Jimmy John's has over 2,600 locations across the U.S., and they specialize in fast, fresh, and simple sandwiches with delivery. The brand earns money mainly through the sale of sandwiches, drinks, sides, and catering services. Their motto is "Freaky Fast," meaning super quick service and fresh ingredients. The mission of Jimmy John's is to deliver delicious meals at lightning speed, and the vision is to become the fastest and most reliable sandwich chain in the U.S. Are you wondering if the Jimmy John's franchise is right for you? In this guide, you'll learn all the key info, from their mission, to business model, to the support offered to franchisees. This will help you make a smart investment decision. 1. How does a Jimmy John's franchise work? Learn the business model. Key information. Franchise model. Jimmy John's uses a franchise system where the location is run by an independent business owner following the brand's rules. You can open one store or multiple through a multi-unit agreement. Fee structure. The initial fee is between $3,000 and $35,000. There's also a 6% weekly gross sales royalty fee and a 4.5% marketing fee. Support from Jimmy John's. The brand provides full training, help with choosing a location, operational support, and marketing materials.
Anecdote. Jimmy John Leotard didn't have money for ads, so he walked around a college campus handing out sandwich samples to students. That's how his first store started earning money in its first year.
2. Entry costs for Jimmy John's. How much does it cost and what profits can you make? Key information. Initial costs. Total investment ranges from $3,666,200 to $728,200. This includes franchise fee, $35,000, build-out costs, $15,000, $31,000, equipment, $12,000, $21,000, architectural plans, $9,500, $22,000, initial inventory, $6,000, training, $6,000, $15,000, insurance, $1,500, $15,000, 3-month operating funds, $5,000, $75,000. Potential earnings. The average Jimmy John's location earns about $907,848 yearly. Net profit ranges from $874,844 to $1,749,669 annually, depending on location and management.
Anecdote. Jimmy John was supposed to open a hot dog stand, but it was too expensive. So he went with sandwiches. That decision changed his life and launched one of the fastest growing chains in the U.S.
3. Step by step. How to register a Jimmy John's franchise and how long does it take? Key information. Registration process. Fill out an online form, interview with a rep, financial review, approval, sign the agreement. Documentation. You need a business plan, financial data, location summary, and agreement to franchise terms. Duration. The whole process usually takes between 3 and 6 months.
Anecdote. The first Jimmy John's store opened in a garage, and Jimmy baked the bread and sliced the meat himself. Today, the brand has over 2,600 stores and still values simplicity.
4. Taxes and fees in Jimmy John's. What do you need to know before you start? Key information. Income tax. Between 10% and 37% of annual gross income, depending on legal structure and state. Property taxes. 1% to 5% yearly if the store location is owned. State and local taxes. 1% to 3%, including sales tax, use tax, and local operational fees, like health permits. Licensing fees. 0.5% to 1% for business permits, excluding training costs. Marketing fees. 4.5% of weekly gross income, covering national and local campaigns.
Anecdote. Jimmy John was so determined that for the first few months, he delivered sandwiches by bike himself to save on operating costs.
5. Hiring employees at Jimmy John's. How many do you need and what are the training costs? Key information. Number of employees. Average 15-25 per store. 3 managers, 6 to 8 delivery drivers. Rest in kitchen and service. Training costs. $300 to $700 per person, depending on role and location. Training systems. On-site training, e-learning, and hands-on practice in certified stores.
Anecdote. At Jimmy John's, manager training lasts 7 weeks and assistant training lasts 3 weeks, one of the longest in the fast food industry.
6. Jimmy John's, operating costs. What daily expenses will you face? Key information, monthly. Ingredients and supplies, $12,000 to $2,000. Fresh meat, veggies, bread, drinks, wages and benefits. $1,000 to $18,000. Salaries, insurance, bonuses, rent and utilities, $4,000 to $10,000, depending on location, insurance. $500 to $1,500. Cover store, staff, accidents, maintenance and service. $500 to $1,000. Repairs, upkeep, cleaning, licensing and marketing fees. $3,000 to $6,000 per franchise agreement. Total taxes, $2,000 to $4,000. Local, state, federal taxes. Other, 25%, income tax, etc. $5,000 to $8,000, income tax and other industry fees.
Anecdote. Jimmy John always said, "The best marketing is fresh bread and fast delivery." That's why they bake fresh bread every 4 hours to keep up the quality.
7. Training and support. How Jimmy John's helps its franchisees. Key information, initial training. Jimmy John's offers a 4-week training program with theoretical classes and in-store practice. Managers complete 7 weeks of training. Assistants, 3 weeks. Operational support. Before opening, franchisees get help choosing a location, designing the interior, ordering equipment, and preparing for launch. After opening, a field consultant visits regularly. E-learning platform. Access to online materials, system updates, and new procedures. Marketing. Support with national campaigns, local ads, PR, and promotions.
Anecdote. Jimmy John's has over 11 million loyalty program members, and their mobile app has a 4.9-star rating, one of the highest in the fast food industry.
Loving the video? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. 8. Franchise inspections at Jimmy John's. What are the requirements and what to expect? Key information. External inspections. Conducted by corporate team 3-4 times a year. Covers product quality, cleanliness, and procedure compliance. Internal audits. Monthly self-audits by franchisee. Must report results and implement improvements. Frequency. At least quarterly, more often for new stores or operational issues.
Anecdote. In 2020, the FDA issued a warning to Jimmy John's oversupply issues with Sprouts. Since then, the brand has implemented strict supplier and product quality controls.
9. Jimmy John's profitability. Is it really a profitable business? Key information. Profitability. Average yearly revenue is $907,848. Net profit ranges from $87484 to $1174969 per year. ROI. Average return on investment is 15% annually. Investment typically recoups in 5 to 6 years. Success factors. Location, speed of service, cost control, customer loyalty.
Anecdote. Former NFL quarterback Drew Brees owns several Jimmy John's locations and plans to open 25. His first one opened on the Purdue University campus, where he loved the brand as a student.
10. Jimmy John's in the market. How is the brand performing today? Key information, market position. Over 2,600 locations in 43 states. About 98% of stores are franchised. Growth and expansion. Steady growth in college towns and suburbs. New locations planned in New York and California. Challenges. Competition from Subway, Jersey Mike's, Firehouse Subs, and Panera Bread. Jimmy John's wins on speed, loyalty, and a simple menu. Forecasts. Aiming for 3,000 stores by 2027. QSR industry forecasted to grow 4.9% annually.
Anecdote. Jimmy John's bakes fresh bread every 4 hours and delivers within a 5-minute radius, one of the fastest delivery systems in the U.S.
11. Pros and cons of Jimmy John's franchise. What to know before deciding. Key information. Pros. A. Strong brand recognition and loyal customer base. B. Simple operations and fast service. C. Comprehensive training and support. Cons. A. High competition in the sandwich segment. B. Limited menu flexibility. C. High entry costs in smaller markets.
Anecdote. Jimmy John's has a dedicated training center in Champaign, Illinois, where new franchisees learn everything, from baking bread to team management.
12. How to choose a profitable franchise and avoid mistakes. Key information. Market research. Check local demand, competition, and growth potential. Financial analysis. Review costs, profit forecasts, and ROI. Consult experts. Talk to advisors, lawyers, and current franchisees. Support evaluation. Look into what training and help the brand offers. Franchise agreement analysis. Carefully read the terms, obligations, and rights.
Anecdote. Jimmy John Liautaud personally visited new locations to ensure everything met his standards. The brand still keeps this level of commitment.
Conclusion. Who is Jimmy John's franchise for, and is it worth investing? The Jimmy John's franchise is ideal for those who value simplicity, speed, and a proven business model. If you're entrepreneurial, ready for hard work, and want to operate in the fast-paced QSR industry, this might be a great opportunity. The brand offers solid support, recognition, and a tested operational system. However, keep in mind the competition and entry costs. Success depends on location, engagement, and management skills. For those with restaurant or team management experience, Jimmy John's can be a very profitable investment. Before deciding, talk to current franchisees, analyze your local market, and read the franchise agreement thoroughly. This is not just a business, it's a lifestyle that demands passion and consistency. Anecdote. Jimmy John Liautaud bought out his father's share 2 years after founding the company, becoming sole owner. Today, the brand is part of Inspire Brands, a giant that also owns Arby's, Sonic, and Buffalo Wild Wings. Bibliography, Franchise Times, Franchise Business Review, Franchise World, Franchising for Dummies. In the next episode of Franchise Business, The Guide to Franchises. Little Caesars. Is Little Caesars a good choice for you? With our guide, you have all the necessary information to make an informed decision. Good luck on your franchise adventure. Thank you for watching. If you like the subject matter of this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment. I wish you a day full of success.